What is up, guys? Welcome back. I was outside getting my workout in, getting a little bit of sun, and thought I'd make a video because I haven't really made one in a few weeks now, guys. I apologize. There's been a lot going on, and if you have 4 kids, you definitely will understand. Hell, if you have 2 or 3 kids, you'll understand. But school just got started back and trying to get back into that rhythm and all that, so it's been a little bit difficult to pump out some videos. But today I want to talk about something that, we need to do a lot more of, and it's a very underrated tip for anxiety that can help you with today, right? We are focused on today most of the time. What symptoms do I have now? Screw yesterday. What happened yesterday? Screw the heart attacks I survived yesterday. Screw the cancer I thought I had 6 months ago and I didn't end up having it, or how bad things used to be 3 or 4 months ago. What problems do I have today? And I think it's natural to do that. We are our worst critic. We could be 95% better than what we were 6 months ago, but that last 5% of what I'm dealing with means everything right now. And, I got into that way of thinking myself, even towards the end. If I would have just taken a break, eventually I did do it, took a step back or a breath or a break and just really examined on how things are now than how they were when this stuff first started. It would have really changed the course of my day. It would have changed my attitude about what I'm dealing with now with one of these lingering symptoms that I have. Would I rather have this lingering symptom of maybe a tad bit of vertigo, or maybe this weird sensation that I'm having, or in my case, I had some pressure in my right ear that I had that lingered for quite some time because I didn't want to let it go. Would I rather have that, or would I rather have complete insomnia, multiple panic attacks a day, and having hundreds of changing symptoms and sensations throughout one day? Well, I'll pick the ear pressure any day, right? But we rarely take a break and just see how far we've come. So I encourage you guys to do that. It could really change the course of your day. And, gratitude is another one of those things that's very, very underrated. And we could really use it to change our thought pattern very quickly. I think it's one of the best ways to spark positivity, or at least to get our foot in the door with positivity when it's natural for us to be negative. And really trying to direct gratitude in this instance towards where we are now compared to where we used to be. Probably 90% of the people that are watching are better than where you were a week ago or years ago, especially whenever you didn't know how this thing worked. You didn't know how anxiety operated. You didn't understand a lot of the things that, I talk about on this channel, or that you've learned along the way in whatever way you've learned them. This thing takes time to get past, so we got to keep being patient. We got to just try to think about getting maybe a 0.5% better, every single day, or hell, get 0.5% better every few days. You're still getting somewhere. And remember, that last little bit, guys, it can drag out. And I encourage you to try to just whatever it is that you're struggling with, look at your past. Be thankful for where you are now compared to where you were then, because I'm sure it used to be hellacious. And also look at your past as evidence that you're going to make it out of what you're dealing with now. If you deal with heart anxiety, which a lot of you do, you could almost look back to yesterday where you thought you were going to die on the way home. But guess what? You're still here. Guess what? You didn't die. And after it, you were laughing about it in the garage. Once you got back home, you're like, oh man, I got back home. Maybe you popped open a beer or something, and you're trying to relax or something, or, you're just sitting outside and trying to cool down, and you're like, oh my God, oh man, I got to get this under control. Man, I thought I was going to die out there on the way home, but you didn't. You made it back home. But guess what? Now, today you were driving home and the same thing happened. You have to start thinking about how far you've come and use your past as evidence. That's the only reason I really want you looking in your past. Don't look in your past about things that you regret and all that kind of stuff. Things that you're going to dwell on that are not productive. But looking at your past can be productive if you're thankful for where you are now versus where you were, to see how far you've come, to serve as a pick-me-up, and to also realize, hey, I have a history of this. This is probably nothing bad either. And I'm probably going to get through this just like I got through all the storms. The cloud always, and the storm, that it always ran out of rain, and peace and came afterwards, before I entered a new day or a new cycle. So you got this, guys. Go down below in the comment section. I want you to put in all caps, I have come so far. I have come so far. If you want more help with your recovery process, please check out the course down below in the description and in the first pinned comment, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. If you want reviews, it's going to be on that page, and I have them all scattered through my Instagram. So check that out. It's been helping a lot of people. Be a part of that. The good thing about it, you get it for life. It's just a one-time deal, and it's probably one of the most affordable anxiety courses you're going to find on the freaking internet. So I did that on purpose so a lot of people could get the value. But thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with a video. I want to start being a little bit more consistent now that things have kind of settled down this week with the start of school and all that. But yeah, I'm a little red. I'm kind of looking like Mr. Krabs over here. But talk to you soon, guys. Bye.